really mattered too much to me.
Yeah, when I came on the scene, right?
Talk about it.
It never really
I
mattered
wasn't even
too
tripping,
much
you
to
know what I
me.
mean?
I know they.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Can you hear me? Let me see.
In spring.
Oh, there we go. Oh man, they was messing with me, man. Can you hear me now? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Oh, there I go. There I go. Man. 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 I couldn't get this thing jumping a second ago. I couldn't get this thing jumping a second ago. I said, good goodness of gracious. I thought Tariq Nasheed had some power back there in the upper room or the lower room. Good goodness of gracious. I didn't even, man, hold up, man. Let me get myself together. Make sure I got all my stuff right now. I didn't even realize, man, that man, look, man, I thought Tariq Nasheed had all the power. Good goodness of gracious. Anyway, family, this is going to be a very, very, this is going to be pretty good. This is going to be pretty good. I'm sorry that we start so late, but at the end of the day, man, I got a family. I got work. I got to let the family lay it down. I can't, you mean, it is what it is. I can't just do this early like I would love to do it.
Yeah, when I came on.
What's that?
Talk about it.
It never really
I
mattered
wasn't even
too
tripping,
much
you
to
know what I mean?
I know they.
Why they keep coming on? You know what I mean? All right, what I'm looking for now. I was looking for one more thing. And I'll take some questions, you know what I mean? I'm going to leave some stuff open because I'm having a lecture and I'm going to be having a lecture in Detroit talking about the similar topic. And so I'm going to leave some stuff to your imagination. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Can you hear me? But I'm going to be covering
In spring.
Oh, there we go. Oh man, they was messing with me, man.
What
Can
I
you
got
hear me
going on
now?
here?
Check 1 2, check 1 2. All right, hold up. So some stuff I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave hanging in the air. You know what I mean? And also, I would want the brother to step up and to debate me also. So I can't put out all
It's a
of
reveal, my man. Listen.
my bad. I can't put out all of the good stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I can't put out all of the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But what I can do, I can give you the gist of some good information. But so for those who don't know, I'm going to be covering tonight the fall of what people answering a lot of questions when people ask what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Many people should. Let me drop.
I forever consider never to reveal, my man. Listen,
There you go.
I die with that, and I'm gonna live by that because they don't understand the power behind that too. And basically, yo,
You can't give up the secrets. It's impossible.
I forever consider never to reveal, my man. Listen,
There you go.
I die with that, and I'm gonna live by that because they don't understand.
So welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I'm your host, Brother Sharif Bey. So a lot of people, now listen, if you've been watching Moorish World TV for the past few years or whatever the case may be, one may ask, say, well, what happened to my shirt? What happened to the Moorish, what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I knew my camera wasn't off. I'm still grabbing some stuff because I'm locking in. What happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America? You know what I'm saying? And what people fail to understand, like, we are such a microwave people that we think that something happens, turns off, and turn on. Like the little clap on, clap off. People think that the Moorish Science Temple of America and other organizations that have been infiltrated can turn on and clap on just like the clapper. No. The Moorish Science Temple of America was one of the first organizations that was predicated upon building a nation. So when we came out of Africa and they plucked us from indigenous America, we were people who were a part of a nation. And the Moorish Science Temple of America, founded by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was instrumental in getting us back into the frame of mind of nationhood. Nationhood supersedes tribalism. Nationhood is that thing that puts you in position to use your number to compete for the resources under your feet. Nationhood is what the world has been operating under, and nationhood is what we have been subjected to by other nations. And so when Prophet Noble Drew Ali came to us here in America to help us reestablish ourselves as a nation of people, the first thing that came was building the pride of who we are, where we came from. And the last stronghold of North Africa was the Moors. They plucked the slaves to put on that boat from the Moors of southwestern shores of Africa. And with that being said, that doesn't mean that everybody was literally of Moorish stock, but they were of the Moorish Empire, which was a political term. Let me give you an example for those that don't understand it. The Roman Empire extended from Rome all the way to the Middle East and North Africa. It didn't matter if a person was bred in Turkey. Once the political force of the Romans conquered what is Turkey now, but was known as Constantinople, they became Romans politically. And this is the problem that we have a problem with. This is one of the things that we have a problem with, that we don't understand the political term as it relates to the bloodline term. You can be the political term or the bloodline. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali was instrumental in trying to get us back in order. There is no group that is so out of order like us. Let me get on my soapbox for a minute. Of the whole world, every people who have suffered some form of atrocity, whether it was the European Jew with the Holocaust, whether it was our people in the Congo, whether it was people in the Middle East, as they like to call it, in Palestine, one thing for sure and two things for certain. The people who suffered these atrocities, they came out describing themselves of the same term that they described themselves going in. In other words, the European Jew went into the Holocaust as a European Jew. He came out as a European Jew. The Palestinian from 1940 even to now, they know, or whether you agree with it or not, they are Palestinians in their eyes. The Congolese, same way. They suffered major atrocities, but guess what? They knew they was Congolese. We as a people suffer these atrocities and these oppressions, and we went in as one people and we came out as a million different peoples. We came out as Moors, Hebrews, like Hebrew. Hebrew is literally a language. It's literally a language. I mean, Israelites is a tribe. I'm not knocking the Hebrew Israelites. I'm just saying. But this is a new era of time now. You see what I'm saying? And we should be building upon nationhood as opposed to tribalism. Nationhood means that the tribe can fit into the nation. Kind of like the United States of America, right? You have all of these states, and all of them have their different cultures. You go down the South. I mean, we build culture. You go down the South, the way they swag is different than up north. You go out west, they swag is different than out west. Well, it's the same thing with an empire. The United States is literally operating like an empire, like the Moorish Empire, like the Moroccan Empire. They literally operating like that. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to a nationhood, and we move like an empire, there's room for all in the empire. You see what I'm saying? There's room for all in the empire. But what we have allowed people to do is to break us down in little segments. And see, that's why I say Islamism and Pan-Africanism is the same thing. Because while the European Union are united, we steady being fragmented. You follow me? And so these are some of the things that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was putting together, did put together, completed what he put together. But now, when it comes to the show tonight, this is what the Moors, in conjunction with the government, was able to tear apart, was able to mix up, was able to remix it, and keep people confused for the last 100 years. They are still here today. So this is why I say, when people say, what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America? It's not a clap on, clap off. They are still here till this day. And I'm going to go into the history tonight because Mr. Sharif Aneal Bey, every time I post something on Facebook, he has something to say. Now, the last time I had him almost crying, talking about, man, he's going to bring the lower self out of me. And so, you know what? I did a video. It was actually called The Final Answer. And I answered all of his discrepancies. And I said I was going to leave it alone. But every time I post something, here come this guy throwing his rocks and hiding his hand. Every single time. And his people that look up to him, family, let me be on my soapbox for a second. The people that look up to him, that admire him, they never see him throwing the rock. What they do is see me catching the rock and throw it back at him. And then they say, why are you throwing the rock at him? Can't we all get along? Why is it so much division? They never see him throw the rock, but they always seem to see me catch the rock and throw it back. And so tonight, I'm throwing the rock back at him. You follow what I'm saying?
Disagreements on
I hear you, Sharif.
history, temple groups.
Let's go, family.
Brother Tahaka Bey is my brother.
Tahaka Bey, you're what? Hold up. What did he just say? Tahaka Bey is what?
Disagreements on
This that Masonic
history,
degree.
Temple groups aside.
Listen, family.
Brother Tahaka Bey is my brother. I realize that some of my words have caused him harm.
Talk to him,
And
Grandthing.
for that, I sincerely apologize. And I seek his forgiveness.
These fake sheets, I should have been pulled their tongue out. Apologize for what? I don't hear what they talking about. I peeped it. They just sold they soul for some friendship. Abandoned as a child, now they desperate for some kinship. I've been hit. They the type of turn blood and then crit. Next week they Mason, faking assalamu alaikum. NOI this week, next week God body. You ever thought about sticking to karate flip flop, boy? Let me tell you something. Back in the day, you would've got the top pop for front, and all of a sudden you reckon like you beef with me because you hide behind your lies, and I disagree. Wanna be Bruce Lee? Keep sleep dissing, and I'ma keep spitting. Good riddance. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. Come on, man.
Check 1, 2.
Get your Grand Chic, man.
Let's go.
Your Grand Chic failed
Check
you,
1,
man.
2.
Oh no, what's up, brother? Get him. Before I do. Cause when I do it ain't gon' be nice. Recognize I've been God. How you 7 inches cheek walking with a skin charge? You've been large, I've been large, always been a leader. You fighting to be accepted by men like a diva. Boy, I can't believe ya, cracking all slick, living in the glass house, throwing all these bricks. Speaking of the bricks, still trying to be a dope boy. Get up off the podium, let the gospel go, boy. Think we don't know, boy, we know you real dirty. So why you frontin', walking around, acting like you worthy? You know you're not worthy to represent the gospel. Why you wanna make the people Grand Chic and hostile? You know it's all good when people get a falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when the truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood.
If this was another genre like entertainment news, would have millions and millions of views. This is a masterpiece. This man.
Islam.
This is a masterpiece.
Let's go, fam. Come on. You already know. You know what's all good. Family, come on, man. We got to do better than this. We got to do better than this. What's up, Argo? Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. You better know it. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. In the building. What's up, Lunch Break? To Argo Bay front line till the law call my number. Hey, what's up, Robin? I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Argo Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back. Yeah. Mountains, Mississippi and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black. Proved it was straight back. Y'all ready? Tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. I don't want to hold you up any further. Family, I hope everybody is enjoying their night tonight. We're going to get busy, man. We're going to get busy. Let me get that. I wish I had more time to really put the, I really want to give you some real truth. And I wish I had more time to really, my schedule's so busy. But I wish I had more time so I can really paint this picture just a little bit more. But I got a lecture coming up, and that picture is going to be painted so clear. So let me share with you this. Let me pull this up real quick. First of all, so the Moorish Science Temple of America was infiltrated during the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You understand what I'm saying? It was infiltrated during the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Make no mistake about it. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you the two main, and family, if you of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you're going to have to bear with me because my brothers and sisters, Moorish World TV citizens, they're not into this tomfoolery, if you will. And so I want to bring them up to speed because I'm pretty sure that the Moorish World TV citizens do be wondering, like, what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America? And so I am delighted to break it down. So with that being said, so in the Moorish Science Temple of America, you have two main thoughts, all right? And these two main thoughts is that one person, this group is the leader. Oh, my bad. Is two main thoughts is that this person is the leader, right? What I'm doing here? Can I get that up in there? Ah, man, I can't get that up in there. All right, I'm trying to get a drop up here. Let me get it like this. So I'll do it like this. So you have a school of thought that would say that this guy right here, Eliel, is the leader from 1929. from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right? Now, with that being said, you have another group that believe that this guy is the leader from 1929. This is Kirkman Bey, and this is Email. So what I'm going to lay out, the premise I'm going to lay out tonight is that, this is the one extended from Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and this is the imposter. All right? That's the premise I'm going to lay out tonight. That this is the imposter, and the people are still following the imposter till this day. I mean, and this is why the Moorish Science Temple of America, this is why you never seen the Moorish Science Temple of America affairs in the civil rights movement. This is why you never seen the Moorish Science Temple of America in any movement of significance in fighting for liberation for our people, because the movement was hijacked during the time of the Prophet. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying right there. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that we understand one another. The movement was hijacked in 1929, but it started in 28, and it continues on until this day. You follow me? All right. So, one thing for sure and two things for certain. This is what they will never be able to do. They will never be able to show that Kirkman Bey was a leader of the Moorish Science Temple of America during the time of the Prophet. They would never be able to show that. All right? They would never be able to show that in a million years. That's number one. They would never be able to show that. So, they claim that Kirkman Bey is, or was, this is Sharif now, they claim that Kirkman Bey was the leader from 1929, and they had an ascension all the way up to 2024, which is R. Jones Bey, where in fact we know that doesn't make sense, because even in this entertainment card, we see in 1934, Email is recognized as the Grand Sheik. Y'all see the line under this right there? In 1934. This is the year that Email transitioned. And I want you to remember that year, 1934. Because after 1934, that's when they made a power move to reinterpret the Moorish Science Temple of America and resell it to the people. All right? So, and it's been selling to the people ever since. It's nothing more than a church. It's been selling to the people. They've been selling it to the people ever since. It's nothing more than a church, and nothing against the church, but the Moorish Science Temple of America is not set up like a church, and it should never be set up like a church. The Moorish Science Temple of America should address educational issues, social issues, political issues, economic issues, all the issues that you face in your everyday life. The Moorish Science Temple of America is set up to address that, and we're struggling because of the infiltration. Many of us don't have two pennies to rub together as it relates to a unit of people moving as one. So here is the evidence right here. So we literally could stop the conversation right now, because if I would say to them, show me you having conventions from 1929 up into 34. Like literally show me that. And if you can show me that, then we can have a conversation. So in reality, we might don't even need a conversation. Because if you give me 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick. I want to pull up something real quick. And I want to show you how we could shut this conversation down right now if we wanted to. But I'm gonna take this opportunity to teach something. Let me pull this one document up and show you that they cannot do this. But I got a surprise for you. Yeah, I got a surprise for you coming in a minute. Hold on 1 second. Let me hold up 1 second. I got a surprise coming for you. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking for something real quick. It's building up now, and I'm definitely looking for it. 1 second. Maybe it's right here. New tab right there. I want to show you something that could actually shut this down right now if I wanted to. If I don't see it right in a minute, I'll let it build up and I'll come back to it. But what I was going to show you is that the group that follows, or people that follow the teachings of Email, they have something in their favor. They have a written record of every year operating before the death of Email. That's what they have in their favor. The people that follow the shadow version of the Moorish Science Temple of America that still exists to this day, they don't have a record. They don't have any records dating back to the prophet. The only thing that they have is and we're going to talk about that tonight. They have found the opportunity to connect themselves to the original 1926 filing filed by Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the State Department, the state of Illinois. But that's neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, the prophet already breaks that down as to what we should be doing, and that's not it. I mean, but anyway, let me go to my next thing. So this is what I want to get to you, family. I want to break it down slowly, and here we go. All right. So let me move myself out the way. Now, this is a good history class, family. Very good history class. Again, they want to claim that Kirkman Bey was the successor of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Sharif Aneal Bey now. But I got a surprise for you coming in like 15 minutes, so stick with me. In this newspaper article, it says this: Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the editor Ross Bey, according to telegraphic information received by the Supreme Business Manager, will be home Sunday, December the 2nd. They will be greeted and welcomed by one of the largest meetings ever held at the National Temple headquarters. Family, do we understand what National Temple headquarters? The National Temple headquarters oversee all the other temples. You understand what I'm saying? The National Temple headquarters oversee all the other temples. And all the other temples, there were 17 temples, let's say 15. People like to use the number 15, and I'm not going into great detail why 17, but let's just say 15. The National Temple headquarters at Unity Hall, 3140 Indiana Avenue. The reception committee, composed of Brother Email, chairman of the National Temple. In other words, if he's chairman of the National Temple, he's chairman of the national organization. But they don't, for some reason, that doesn't register to these people. Meetings, Sister Pearl Drew Ali, because Prophet Noble, and then I break this down too, because I know somebody want to come back and say that. Prophet Noble Drew Ali at this time was the supreme chairperson. Email was the chairman of the National Temple. Those are two different positions, because when people say, well, no, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was living, he was in charge. Yeah, he was the supreme chairperson. And I'll show you that in a minute. But anyway, meetings, because people will definitely say, but no, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was alive. He was alive. Yeah, he was alive at this time. But his position was the supreme chairperson, and Email was the national, the chairperson of the National Temple, which would make him the what? National chairman. Anyway, overseeing all the temples. He was governing all the temples under the leadership of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Just simple. So it says, meeting Sister Pearl Drew Ali, National Secretary Treasurer. National Secretary Treasurer, what that does, it governs the national economy of the Moorish Science Temple of America. She's not a local officer. She's governing the whole. I think this is child play with these people. Anyway, I mean, Sharif, I had so much respect for Sharif Bey, but I don't know what gotten into him. I don't know what's gotten into him. Miss Juanita Richardson Hill, Assistant Secretary and City Editor of the Moorish Guide. Now, we know what that's indicative of. She's Secretary of the newspaper, not Secretary of any part of the body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I think this is very simple common sense. You know what I mean? But not to these people. Anyway, let me go on to the next thing. Now, let's get into Kirkman Bey. This picture you see here is Kirkman Bey. Now, I'm going to give you all the story. Like I said, I'm going to do a whole presentation on the breakdown of how this happened. But here's Kirkman Bey talking to the police right now. So what happened was, when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali transitioned, a brother named Claude Green was the business manager of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And it was said that Claude Green was rerouting money from the Prophet's Noble Drew Ali's mail order business, which was the oil teas and compounds. And he was also rerouting the finances, dues money, uplifting funds. He was rerouting them from 3603, which was the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's home office, to the National Temple, which was 3140 Indiana Avenue. And he was the business manager, so no one really seen anything wrong with that. Okay, just send it here. So he began to basically steal the money. You know what I'm saying? From all of these temples, from the sales of the oil teas and compounds, and from membership and all, they begin to steal money. But he would also begin to influence people to follow him. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali is on tour of the temples after 1928, and we're going to go over that too. After 1928, he's on a tour of the temples, and it's 15 temples, and he's on the tour of these temples. And while he's on the tour of these temples, the takeover happened. And from 1928 to March 1929, let's look at that block of time, the takeover began to happen. Part of the takeover was they was going to wait till Prophet Noble Drew Ali return and accuse him of child molestation. It was a brother named Foreman Bey actually put his daughter up to the task, Murray Foreman Bey, to say that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali molested her. So that was a part of the takedown. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of the takedown. But that was one of the part of the takedown. The second part of the takedown is they had this body put together. Lomax Bey. Now I don't want to bring up the receipts. It'll take too much long for that because I'm just building up to my point. Lomax Bey, Claude Green, Small Bey, Foreman Bey, and with all intents and purposes, and I'm going to show you why I say Kirkman Bey, and a few others, right? And so they was going to remove Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and they were going to establish themselves as the Moorish Science Temple of America. The initial, from research, the initial move was to get him locked up for, or earn Painel, to get him locked up for child molestation. Get him out the picture. You follow me? When he came back from the tour of the temples, when he was in Detroit, Detroit Temple had 4,000 members in it. The Lomax Bey, the leader of the Detroit Temple, would ultimately make a proclamation in the middle of the temple and says that we are separating ourselves from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and we are not sending any more finances. We're breaking off. We're gone. Somebody in the crowd rushed Lomax Bey. Gunshots begin to fly off. People get locked up. A couple people get hit, whatever. Prophet Noble Drew Ali continue to go around in the temples. So at this point, this is like around January. At this point, January 1929. So at this point, people already know that the takeover has happened. They already know that the takeover is happening, right? Prophet Noble Drew Ali continue to travel around the temples. When Prophet Noble Drew Ali gets back to to Chicago. This is around February, early March. Claude Green, the business manager, tells Prophet Noble Drew Ali that he's evicted out of 3140 Indiana Avenue. Now, 3140 Indiana Avenue, one second, let me show it to you. 3140 Indiana Avenue is the location where you will see this picture. This is 3140 Indiana Avenue, right here. This is 3140 Indiana Avenue where they had the first annual convention. So the business manager was also the landlord of this building. So when Prophet Noble Drew Ali came back, you know what I mean? So when Prophet Noble Drew Ali came back from his tour of the temples, Claude Green made the proclamation. Basically, he said, "You're evicted from this building, and I am the Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple of America." Now imagine, just imagine this. Prophet Noble Drew Ali went from standing on a parking lot telling people that we are a nation of people, etc., went from 0 to 60,000 plus people in a course of 3 years, from the Midwest to the East Coast. These people admire Prophet Noble Drew Ali, reverence Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Claude Green end up getting unlived. They locked Prophet Noble Drew Ali up. Now remember, I said Claude Green was the business manager. They locked Claude Green up. They locked Prophet Noble Drew Ali up and quite a few other people. Prophet Noble Drew Ali ultimately gets released. You know what I mean? There was no evidence to hold him. He gets released, and ultimately he get killed shortly after in front of his house. Ern Payne, who was one of the takeovers, brother was a doctor who would ultimately sign a death certificate, say he died of tuberculosis. Not true. But now, let's move up to Kirkman Bey. During all that time, Kirkman Bey never had a position in the temple. He never was a grand sheik. He never was a sheik. He never was a minister. He was nothing. But what they like to talk about is that Kirkman Bey traveled with Prophet Noble Drew Ali to Cuba as an interpreter. So I'm of the thought that maybe he spoke Portuguese or Spanish, because at that time there was a blend of Spanish and Portuguese speaking brothers and sisters in Cuba. So maybe he spoke some of that, and he went to assist the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But because of that, they believe that he was Prophet Noble Drew Ali's right-hand man. That's one of their claims. He took Kirkman Bey with him as an interpreter. But from an organizational perspective, he never made him a grand sheik. He never made him a minister. He never made him an adap. If he was that important, at minimum, he would have made an adap out of him. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was making adaps 120 people a night. You understand what I'm saying? When he was in Detroit at one time, he made like 150 adaps in one night and had to turn people away. He never made Kirkman Bey an adap. That speaks volumes in itself. Some of these temples had 200 adaps, 100 adaps. The smallest temple probably had about 50 adaps. And if y'all don't know what an adap is, that is just one that is coming to the fold and dedicating their life to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings and the work that it's going to take to bring us up out of this situation, to put it in the most simplest form. It's one who's consecrating themselves to do this work that it's going to take to get us up out of this situation. You follow me? And Prophet Noble Drew Ali was making some 150 a night. This is how powerful that this movement was at this time. With that being said, no, it's not a baptism. Absolutely not. Nothing like a baptism. It's literally, it's nothing like a baptism. It's literally consecration. You go through you go through a ritualistic process and dedicate yourself. Basically, I call it a sifting. I call it a sifting mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Because the process of the dedication will show you who you are. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing like a baptism. Ain't no water, ain't all that stuff. Some people that's got it confused, they got these what they call adapt chambers, where they punch people in the stomach. They try to do it like a hazing. But they don't make people carry bricks and all this old crazy stuff. You know what I mean? But that has nothing to do with the adapt chamber. The adapt chamber is more of a process, whereas though it's a spiritual, it's a real spiritual it's a real spiritual journey, for real. But let me just, I don't want to get stuck there. But what I'm saying is, Kirkman Bey never had that experience. Now, once Prophet Noble Drew Ali transitioned and Email was in charge, everybody wanted to remove Email out of place. Kirkman Bey, for all intents and purposes, had, and I'm going to show you why I say this, had partnered up with Claude Green while the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was living. There's no doubt in my mind about that. While the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was living, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali make a statement like, are you with them or are you with me? Like, who is them? You know what I mean? So there was already a group trying to call themselves and the Moorish Science Temple of America, and the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was make a statement, there's only one Moorish Science Temple of America, and it was mine, and it is mine. And this is why you know that there was another Moorish Science Temple of America on the horizon. And I'm of the thought, and I'm going to give you the evidence in a minute, I'm of the thought that Kirkman Bey was one of those people that was with Claude Green. Now, there was another group of people that was like, nah, we going to run down on you. We going to get this paperwork from you. Now, we was taught that this paperwork was some type of ADAP papers or something. But we know Prophet Noble Drew Ali never had any ADAP papers given to Kirkman Bey. And people say, oh, it's these papers that give you power over the movement, stuff like that. So I'm like, hold up, let me put two and two together. I'll get to that in a minute. So when they came in there, the police came and they started shooting. Here goes Kirkman Bey. Testimony of the above witness linked with Kirkman Bey, Miss Kirkman, and approximately 20 members of the police department, including acting chief detective John Egan, had served to build a fairly strong case. So we know that Kirkman Bey, now, hey, to each his own, he's cooperating with the police. He's cooperating with the police off the break. So in my research, that led me to look into, like, was Kirkman Bey an informant off the top? And I conclude that he was an informant off the top. You know what I mean? And I got the research for that too, but I don't think I might don't have time for that tonight. You know what I mean? So now let me pick up the pace just a little bit. Let me just pick up the pace just a little bit. I want to just prove for a second that Email was appointed by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This is a letter that people like to use from Email when Email says something like, the prophet say, if you leave for any time, give Kirkman Bey the keys. Well, if he says give Kirkman Bey the keys, and as a brother pointed out on Facebook, and Claude Green is the manager of the building, and Kirkman Bey is friends with Claude Green, it makes sense that the prophet would say, give Kirkman Bey the keys, because that's his man. But nevertheless, we're not going to get into that. But this is what Email writes. Many were there when the decision was handed down. This is 5/21/31. Many was there when the decision was handed down. Now they claim that the judge never passed the decision. If y'all don't understand, they Kirkman Bey tried to take Email to court and claimed that he was the Moorish Science Temple of America. Email won the court case, and now people are acting as if that never happened. They playing dumb. I mean, hold on one second. Yeah, they playing dumb. Let me break it. Let me open it up for you. They playing dumb. So he goes on to say, there is no cause for them to be like that. Only they don't want to be governed by truth now. This is the takeover. They're taking over the Moorish Science Temple of America. They started 2 years ago. But they continuing on now to try to get it out of Email's hand. It says, since the prophet passed, and that's the only hope of security. Our great hindrance to my people is they don't understand the words of truth, peace, and love as set before them by the great prophet. He said when he was here. Now, I want to stop right there because for the sake of time, and I want to just get you the meat of what I'm about to share. Now, when you look at this here, I'm going to pull this out. Okay. When you look at this here, this highlighted here, he said, and the Redeemer called me, ordained me, commissioned me, and then appointed me to my station and instructed me that I was there to stay. There it is. I was there to stay. What I'm establishing is that the prophet did not appoint anybody else in the position of leadership. That I was there to stay at his absence, and that all wanted that place, but said, I know who I want there. I know who I want to handle my money. He further said, you are to collect all money and pay off the bills. He still said, and you will have to do what I am doing. You will have to go around to all the temples and report back to me. If that ain't putting somebody in the leadership position, I don't know what is. So, I mean, this is easy to establish that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali selected Email for the leadership role of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Very easy to establish that. Very simple. When you look at this, right? Now, they're trying to say, their argument is that Email, let me say it like this. They're trying to say that Kirkman Bey is the leader because he was chosen by some governors. This is what they say. Email is explaining to people during this time, he says, I hope to hear from you soon. This is the same letter. I hope to hear from all soon. And if we expect to meet the Prince of Peace in peace and with joy to our souls, we had better begin to think, talk, walk, and act different. He was made in secret. In the public, he was unmade. He's referring to Kirkman Bey. When they say that Kirkman Bey was made in secret, this Sharif Bey claims that some governors of the Moorish Science Temple of America picked Kirkman Bey for the position that he's in. If I can find this real quick, if I can find it real quick. So some of the posts, I don't have all the posts. One of the posts is that he's saying that the governors selected Kirkman Bey. Now, one of the things that Email says is that, okay, you see on the convention flyer, one second, you see on the convention flyer of 1929, listen to what it says. Get a program of 1929 convention if you haven't one. Send for one. Read and think, and you will out that the programs are printed before the convention convenes. In other words, because you see Kirkman Bey as a Supreme Grand Advisor, that doesn't put him in a leadership position. And in fact, he was already removed before the convention. But because these are printed before the convention, it reads as if he has some sort of position. That's basically what Emeliel is saying. So basically what I'm doing is I'm drawing up the conclusion that there's no way possible that those who follow the line of Kirkman Bey can say that Kirkman Bey was installed by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There's no way humanly possible. It doesn't make sense. They know that, and we know that. But what they will say is that Emeliel installed Kirkman Bey. But then, if that be the case, if he installed Kirkman Bey, then that would mean that he's the leader. And he definitely didn't install Kirkman Bey. One second. He definitely didn't install Kirkman Bey and then remove himself. He definitely didn't do that. Now, with that being said, I'm trying to click to something real quick. Now that we got that established, I wanted to get one of the brother quotes real quick. Here it is right here. Pay attention to this. This is Sharif Bey talking to Mullins Bey. He says this on Facebook. And all of this came from a post that I posted. You know what I mean? He says, Sharif Bey says, I wasn't there. Neither were you. So we can only infer and presume the intent of the actors involved at that time. Emeliel approved the position and presided over the session where Kirkman Bey was installed. That's a flat out lie. This is how he can lie. Listen to what I'm saying, family. This guy is totally lying. He said Emeliel approved the position and presided over the session wherein Kirkman Bey was installed. He and others later said they made a mistake. Now listen. Emeliel just tells you that the reason that it's on the flyer, that's the mistake. The reason that it's on the flyer because the flyer was printed before the convention. And he found out like it is a mistake. But the flyers already went out. Or the programs already went out. Now, he goes on to say he spent his rest of his life trying to undo it. That is not true. That is nowhere near true. Now, let's get to the facts of this. Emeliel said he was made in private. That's what Emeliel said. We just read that. That he was made, it was done in private, but it was undone in public. What is Emeliel talking about? This is the minutes from their first gathering, their first meeting of the takeover group. In the highlighted area, it says, we elected C. Kirkman Bey, Supreme Grand Advisor behind closed door, and through a mistake, the Prophet laws have not been carried out. Now, if y'all don't know the history, for those who don't know the history, what happened was there was a group of Moors that was disgruntled, the same ones that was disgruntled with the Prophet, and they said, we're going to put Kirkman Bey in power. And so they tried to weasel their way and create a position, Emeliel thinking one thing, and they pulled a fast one. Emeliel said, hold up and pump the brakes. So what Emeliel ultimately would do is, I'm about to get to my good part. I'm just setting this up real quick. Emeliel will ultimately do is he would rule it out. He would rule it out. He would come back. He would come back and he would shut it down with a letter. He would shut it down with a letter. One second. Let me get to the letter. Because I want to get to this other part real quick for the sake of time. He would shut it down. If I can find this letter real quick. Hold on. he would ultimately shut it down and remove the position and say that, you know what I mean? Nah, you are nobody. You have no position. 1 second. That you have no position. Let me find this real quick. Is it? Oh, that's another letter. Damn, my stuff all over the place. Hold on. Man, how that happen? Okay. Here it is. So in this letter, Aneal is writing Kirkman Bey. This is the group that Sharif follows to this day. These are the takeovers. So he writes Kirkman Bey and he says, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, this is to notify you that the above named organization, Moorish Science Temple of America, in convention September the 15th, 1920, rescinded by voting out the mistake made by the second annual convention of 1929. So he didn't spend his life trying to reverse a mistake. He mandated as the leader of the organization that y'all claim that Aneal, he sanctioned. Okay. If you want to use that logic, then if he gives you a title, he has the power to take it back by the organizational process. Because he's seen that the dupe, that you was going to dupe him. But after I finish this, I'm going to something else. Because I think this is well established. Family, is this well established so far? Because I'm about to go into something else in a minute. And in so doing, you hold your membership role. He's not even an ADAP. Never was. He never had a position of authority. You hold your membership role as when our prophet was here. And we hope you will still cooperate with the organizations under the 5 principles. We hope further that you will comply with this notice and govern yourself accordingly. And there is but one supreme grand advisor in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and that being Noble Drew Ali. And anyone else attempting to be from now on is assuming authority of himself and is liable to the penalties of the law. Now that is from the chairman, Aneal. Now, I don't think anybody in their right mind could argue that if someone makes you a manager of something, if someone makes you a janitor of something, that they have the ability to rescind it. I don't even think that is not even an argument. Not even an argument. And so Sharif kicks himself in the foot. He shoots himself in the foot. He shoots himself in the foot when he say, Aneal made him this, that, and the third. It's a title that he honored the brother with because he participated in the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's burial situation. That's it. Honorable titles goes out all the time. But now let's get to the goodness. So one of the things that you need to know about infiltration, and I'm going to stop right there because I got a lecture coming up. But I'm not stopping. I'm about to get to something good for it. One of the things about, let me get this real quick. One of the things that Sharif Bey said, I want to tackle this real quick, and then I'm moving on, I promise. One of the things I want to tackle is Sharif Bey says, and this is for my brother Arno. Let me bring it on up. One of the things Sharif said was, I'm going to tackle this and then I'm moving on to some real good stuff. Someone recently said to me that holding the convention in September was due to a forged letter fraudulently attributed to Brother Aneal. Man is the thought of Allah. A prophet is the thought of Allah. Thus stands that the MWTv is an organization that above all else celebrates and promotes the ability to think. We didn't need the precursor, big bro. But anyway, we're going to address this right now and then we're going to move on. It is well known that after 1929, our dear brother Aneal's subsequent conventions at Forster Hall. They never had conventions. He never mentions that. Kirkman Bey never had conventions till after Aneal was gone. But anyway, he held them all, and he's shooting himself in the foot again. The reason why he's shooting himself in the foot again because Every year, the convention signifies the operation of an organization. No convention, no operation. You understand what I'm saying? So when Sharif Aneal Bey says that Emilio had conventions from 1929, subsequent conventions from 1929. Let me let y'all see this real quick. Arno, did you see that? He shoots himself in the foot again. It is well known that after 1929, our brother Emilio had subsequent conventions at Forster Hall. So if he's having convention and Kirkman Bey, the leader, the group that you follow today, wasn't having convention, who is the Moorish Science Temple of America? Who is the Moorish Science Temple of America? You saying it yourself, Sharif. You're shooting yourself in the foot, brother. In order to be operational, you must have conventions. No convention, no minutes, no movement. The only one that had minutes, the only one that had movement, the only one that had conventions was Emilio. Where do Kirkman Bey come from? 1934. Your organization starts in 1934. Your organization don't start with the prophet. It starts in 1934 after the death of Emilio. That's when the takeover unfolded to the fullest point. But we ain't finished yet. And why is Sharif capping? Why is Sharif capping? Sharif know all this information. This is not new information. Sharif knows this information. You follow me? But let's talk about the forged letter. Let's talk about the forged letter. Somebody say you can't see the info. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? I had to restart, family. Listen, the devil's a lie, man. Starlight, I got your email. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just been working my fingers through the bone. So, family, all right. We back. Oh man, grip. We thought Sneaky Ricky had some power. Good night. Look at that. Listen, he ain't gonna tell you the secrets.
I forever consider never to reveal, my man. Listen, I die with that, and I'm gonna live by that because they don't understand the power behind that too. Basically,
you can't give up the secrets. It's impossible.
I forever consider never to reveal, my man. Listen, I die with that, and I'm gonna live by that because they don't understand.
They will never tell you the truth. Did you hear that? They will never tell you the truth. Did y'all hear that? Anyway, let's get it. So this is the letter that they actually pass out to their people. And I want you to pay close attention to this. I need to get me a pointer, family. I'm going to just go ahead and relax back because this is where it's going to turn up a little bit more. I'm going to skip a lot of stuff because of the time. But this is where it's going to turn up just a little bit more. Let me use this as a pointer. Because Sharif need to get this work real quick. All right. So I'm going to use this as a pointer. Okay. So I want you to pay attention to this letterhead. It says Chicago right here. And it says, Dear Brother Painel. Now let's read this real quick. In reading your letter to Brother Thompson Bey. Hold up. Y'all see how this is how they rewrite this stuff. In reading your letter to Brother Thompson Bey, this has no context to it. But I got the original copy, and I'm going to give it context. In reading your letter to Brother Thompson a few moments ago, and in view of the wishes of our prophet as laid down in his laws to me by himself, I wish to call to your attention the fact that it was in his will that we hold coming convention of 1929 beginning September the 15th to the 20th of the same month. Now, this is what they're using to claim that they're changing the convention from October to September, which they continue to do to this day. My objection is only that the date which was made by the prophet be considered as law with me. So even in this letter, Email have an objection. I'm not sure of the total context of it, but we do know that there exists an objection. And remembering also that he said, as long as you do what I tell you, you will be all right. But when you fail to obey my orders, you will have trouble. Having talked this matter over with all the governors, I find all of them in favor of supporting the date of the convention as laid down by our prophet. Now, the reason why I'm considering this to be forged, because the date that's laid down by Prophet Noble Drew Ali is October the 15th. So I just think it should have different language. But when I show you the actual letter, it's going to change the game. Now, as business manager, I am asking you to give away time of the prophet. Listen. Now, as business manager, I'm asking you to give away the time of the prophet's choice and arrange your dates accordingly. Let me read one more time. Now, as business manager, I'm asking you to give away your time of the prophet's choice and arrange your dates accordingly, which begins September the 15th, September 20th, inclusive. That will give them more time for preparation for the same. We must all come in peace and okay, y'all get that? Now let's go to the actual letter. And give it some and put some respect on it. Now here is the actual letter. The difference between this letter and that letter, it has a letterhead. And guess what? The letterhead has Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. But the sub letterhead is Temple 11 in Philadelphia. Not Payne L, nor is Email from Philadelphia Temple. It doesn't make sense that the letterhead would be established under Temple number 11 being written by Payne L with a address under that for South State Street, Chicago. Being written from Email to Payne L in State Street, Chicago. From a Temple 11 letterhead, when the letterhead on top has the main office, home office, that doesn't make sense, number one. Now, let's go on number two. Let's break it all the way down. Although in this letter it talks about September, the problem with this is whoever signed this or signed Email name, they signed it Supreme Grand Governor. So this is a SUP. Let me get the bigger one. Email never been a Supreme Grand Governor. That's never been his title. As you can see, they put Supreme Grand Sheikh as his title, but it's under a line of Supreme GG. That doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. So if we was in a court of law, this fit all the requirements of forgery. Number one, the home office is 3603 Indiana Avenue. There will be no reason for how. What Email doing it in Philadelphia, writing a letter on a letterhead in Philadelphia in August 1929. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. And then, if he typed the letter, he didn't forgot his own title. Let me blow it up some more. He didn't forgot his own title. He signed it one way, Supreme Grand Sheik, but underneath he typed in Supreme Grand Governor. That doesn't make sense. So yes, this shows all the signs of forgery. Now, did Email have convention in September? Of course he did. But I don't think this letter had anything to do with it, because it doesn't make sense. Maybe that's lost in history. The same way they used the letter as the Canaanite temple, that cannot be substantiated. It cannot be supported by any evidence whatsoever. And the same thing with this letter right here. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Email, all of his letters was on his own letterhead. Every single one of them was on his own letterhead. And you know the crazy thing about this? Although this says August 14, 1929, this has the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's address, 3603 Indiana Avenue. So somebody is using Prophet Noble Drew Ali's letterhead. Family, I have old letterhead of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's why I say it's forgery. It fits all the criteria of forgery. Now let's get where the plot thickens. What time is it? Okay, yeah, good time. I got about 30 minutes. Good time. Now let's get where the plot thickens. Let's deal with Sharif Bey real quick. Let's deal with him real quick. Is anything else I wanted to touch? Okay, here we go. So, yeah, I wanted to touch right here. So, family, here we go. Oh, man, I got to capture this window. So, family, see this guy right here? Yeah, now we about to cook. The stage is set. Again, family, I got a lecture in February where I'm really going to lay all of this out. Now we're about to cook. Who familiar with this guy right here? Anybody? This is Sheikh Aneal. All right. This is one of Sharif Aneal Bey's original teachers when he came into the Moorish Science Temple of America from the sovereign citizen group of Moors. This is him. Aneal, one of the meanest Moors you ever want to meet. But this is the guy that Sharif was under. Now, this is where it gets good. Sharif and him falls out because Sharif brings his then girlfriend to the temple, and he takes the girlfriend from Sharif. This is just history. So they would ultimately fall out. You follow me? They would ultimately fall out. But now, before they fell out, are y'all still with me? So when Sharif would move on to another group, another Moorish group, it was because of the fallout. You follow me? And Aneal is with that sister till this day. So Sharif move on to another group. But before he moves on, Cryptonomics crazy. Before he moves on to the other group, he was instrumental, and this is for the Moors. He was instrumental in helping Aneal with something. Allegedly. We like to say allegedly. And what was he instrumental in helping Aneal with? He was instrumental in helping Aneal to draft a letter to sue the very group that he's a part of. Allegedly. So when Sharif Bey acts like he doesn't know anything that we're talking about, Sharif Bey, it is said, allegedly, that he was the one to help draft up this letter to sue the very group that he's a part of. The very group that he was sent to infiltrate, and who knows if he's still infiltrating or not. But one thing that they made him do before he became a member, they made him do a lecture denouncing the sovereign citizen ideals that he was teaching before. I was actually at that lecture in Philadelphia. But what they didn't know is that everything that I'm teaching, he helped draft up, give or take, in a court filing in 2013. Maybe not the year of 2013. But this is Aneal suing the Inc. With him and Montiel at the helm. Aneal is not legally structured like this. So this is what Sharif knows. We organized the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1925. We illegally incorporated. Everybody know those rundowns. Line number 25. Sharif, it is said, allegedly helped draft this. The work of the Moorish Science Temple of America, let me go to 21. The work of the Moorish Science Temple of America was largely religious. The organization has since been legally changed to a religious corporation. The affidavit to this effect is properly filed in the county recorder's office. Sharif understand all of this stuff. Then, under the unlawful use of the name Moorish Science Temple of America by Charles Kirkman Bey Group, who, by not totally informing anybody that ever read Aneal writing, no, this is not his pen. Sharif was the one that's always in court. Who, by not totally informing either their own membership, and especially since they have not been going into courtrooms, both state and federal, claiming to be what they really know that they are not. That this is not the Moorish Science Temple of America, properly, legally, or lawfully. Thus, each time they enter a courtroom, they are not only willfully raising their crooked right hand and placing their evil left hand on a religious symbol of authority, power, and godliness, they are also prejudicing themselves as well. This is what was written about the leader of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Inc. As Robert Jones Bey adhered to the rules and regulations established by those long excommunicated out of the true Moorish Science Temple of America, established totally October the 15th through the 20th, 1928, whose rules and regulation was founded and established by Prophet Ali. Therefore, Robert Jones Bey and his group cannot legally and lawfully deem to be the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now, if Sharif was under Aneal during the penning of this is what Aneal taught. How can now? This is why he can't defend the stuff that he's talking, because he know there is no defense for it. But he sure tries. He sure tries. Listen to this. The Moorish Science Temple of America, in any form or fashion, period plus, they have themselves divided amongst each other by allowing certain temples in other states to become foreign, not-for-profit corporation, such as Robert Jones Bey owned temple is a foreign corporation, or of not-for-profit organization to which seeks to deprive Sheikh Aneal and all who wish to freely associate themselves with religiously as well as social bodies appoints. One second. We'll make sure I get all this right. A social body appoints and consecrate, etc. pursuant. Now, let me go on this a little bit further. So, this is the caveat to this. How in the world is Sharif now defending the same people he was sent to infiltrate? How does that work? Now, he's battling me with the same people he was sent to infiltrate. This whole letter breaks down, I guess, at least quite, let me say 80% of some of the talking points that I be representing. It said lead plaintiff then filed a grievance seeking to exhaust administrative remedies. Let me go on to a little bit more. Hold on. And I want you to see these dates on here real quick, because a person say, oh, no, he wasn't with them in 2013. Family, this is something that happened before 2013. It goes down here. It says, Sheikh Roddy. So Aneal wanted to get into the prisons, and they tried to block him. You follow me? And as you can see, Robert Jones Bey group through Mr. Vernon Jones Bey had no time. At no time were we informed during the said meeting of December 27, 2011, that we was going to be sent to our foes and open enemy of Allah of Islamism, our prophet. So, it goes back way before the actual filing. And guess who helped draft it? Word is Sharif allegedly is the one who helped drafted the letter, who's using all the talking points that I talk about. But today, he claims that they are the legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America, when in fact, he was the one that was trying to overthrow them. I'm not trying to overthrow them. I'm not trying to overthrow them. I believe in religious freedom. You follow me? He the one that was trying to overthrow them, not me. And he was trying to overthrow them with this guy. Let me get to one of these other talking points. Another talking point that the brothers say is, it's just crazy. Another talking point that Sharif make is, I don't even got to get into the structure of the Moorish Science Temple of America because he all messed up. But one of the talking points that Sharif made was, let me see if I can find it. I don't even think there's much more that need to be said. Let me do this. Let's do it like this. When Kirkman Bey was trying to take over the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? Like I said, I'm going to try to bounce around because I want to save a lot for my lecture. But when Kirkman Bey was trying to take over the Moorish Science Temple of America, while Aneal was winning the court cases, Kirkman Bey was actually was reestablishing himself as the Moorish Science Temple of America in other states. You understand what I'm saying? And one of the things that people are not paying attention to, I'm going to bring it up right now, is that when they was trying to take over the movement, the paper that I keep saying that it was about, it was the paper about, if I can find it, this is the 36. All right. Is that it? I think this is it. This might be it. So when they was trying to take over the Moorish Science Temple of America, the paper that they was talking about, I draw a conclusion that the paper that they was talking about, it had to be the corporate filing, because you will see that while they was fighting Aneal in court in Chicago, they were also filing in the state of Indiana as the Moorish Science Temple of America. They was also filing in the state of Indiana. You know what I mean? As the Moorish Science Temple of America. So in 1930, while the court was deciding for Aneal as they was taking him, they was fighting him over here, but they was planting seeds in Indiana as the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then when Aneal passed form, they took that filing, reverted it back to Chicago, and attached it to 1926. How do we know? We can look at the names on the filing. I'm going to save that, though. And guess who one of the names that's on the filing in 1930? Yeah, Claude Green's wife. Claude Green's wife. So when someone tell me, this ain't the 1930, this is the 1936. I'm going to save the 1930. So when someone tells me that the connection between Claude Green, the one that tried to evict the prophet, and Kirkman Bey, the one that ultimately that would file a single file with carrying out the deeds of Claude Green, there's no way that you can make that make sense. There's no way that you can make that make sense. Why would Claude Green's wife be on the filing? Why? In 1930. Now make that make sense. Make that make sense. Now, when someone talk about forged letters, right? I still want to know about that forged letter. Check out this letter here. They was forging letters all over the place. You have a letter right here. Let's get at this letter. This letter is from Sister Thompson L. And in this letter, I'm just going to show you the signatures. Now you tell me if these signatures match. All of these forged letters was indicative of trying to pull something off. Now, the top is Prophet Noble Drew Ali's signature. The bottom is somebody signing Prophet Noble Drew Ali's name. Forged letters was a very common thing at that time. Let me get another one. So when someone says, ain't nobody forged the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's signature, okay, I hear you. Take a look at this one. Again. Same thing. When they was overthrowing the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's movement and everything that it stood for, they went above and beyond. Last but not least, I don't even got to go through all this because I think I already established what I set out to establish. But last but not least, family. There's no way that these people can claim to be the Moorish Science Temple of America. In fact, let me bring out the 30 filing. Let me see if I got the 30 filing on this up in here. Let me see if I got the 1930 filing. Let me see what I got. Because somebody said that's the smoking gun. Let me just bring out the 1930 filing. Let me see what I got. Let me see if I got it up in here. Do I have it in here? Do I have the 1930 filing? Yeah, here we go. Is this it? Yeah. Let me pull out the 1930 filing because he said he want to see that. All right. You want the smoking gun? All right, here the smoking gun. Somebody said all this Moor stuff is fake though, but you right here with me. Let's pull out the smoking gun. So while they was fugazing Email and running him through court, trying to take the Moorish Science Temple of America through court, and Email was winning, they were also filing to be the Moorish Science Temple of America in Indiana. You hear what I say? Everybody, press 7 if y'all hear what I say, because this is the crescendo here in Indiana. And I got one more thing I'm going to drop too. I want to save some for my lecture. That's why I'm bouncing around a little bit, because I want to save a lot of these hard-hitting ones for my lecture, or if this guy want to debate me. So again, while they was taking Email to court, they were also filing in the state of Indiana. This is, you see how tricky this is? Anybody see how tricky this is? They try to legally set up the entity in Indiana, but then try to fight Email in court in Chicago to take that entity established by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This is not associated with the Prophet or Email. Now listen to this. March 1930. Let's look at the names on here. Now, I will make the connection at a later date. Line number 4. J. Monson Bey, M. Cliff Bey, Mary Williams Bey, and E. Green Bey. And we know who E. Green Bey is. We know her. We got the obituary. We know her name. William Williams Bey. That's one thing I do notice about Kirkman Bey, is that he never did stuff himself. He always sent somebody to do it. And there is the signature with E. Green Bey that we use to match to his wife. Why? Because we have an affidavit that his wife took during the murder of her husband. Yeah. When she talked to the police, she signed the affidavit. Yeah. So when you say that Kirkman Bey and Claude Green, there's no connection, I say debate me on it. Yeah, it's a real connection. And this is why, let me show you. Let me hold up. Let me pull this up real quick. This is why, when you look at how the movement unfold with Kirkman Bey and Claude Green, you will find this. Two things that's very similar. That Kirkman Bey was going after the Grand Advisor, which is a play on Grand Vizier. The battle started shortly noon before the squad of police car marched into the large apartment house of South Parkway near 42nd Street in quest of kidnappers of Kirkman Bey, Charles Kirkman, who styles himself as Grand Vizier of the Moorish National Science Temple of America. This was the takeover group. This is why when you look at the Sisters National Auxiliary, they always put national in there. This was the takeover group. It was the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then it was the Moorish National Science Temple of America. That was the offshoot established by Claude Green. But it ultimately would phase out after the death of Claude Green, after the trickery of Kirkman Bey to get labeled the grand advisor at convention, Aneal figured it out, rescinds it, and the movement goes on. And then when Aneal passed forms, you follow me? So with that being said, who styles himself as Grand Vizier, and you will find this all in history. This is just not one place where you find this. You find it all in 1929, everywhere. Bro, the Moorish Science Temple of America was $1 million religious corporation. They were very wealthy. Very, very wealthy, bro. Very wealthy. Now, this is Claude Green. This is Claude Green. Here is the connection. Let me spread it out for you. Yeah, the Moorish Science Temple of America was very wealthy during the time of the Prophet. They had things on lock. Now, hold up, my bad. I'm just going to read this little part right here. It says, conflict within the cult itself developed a year ago when Claude Green, Grand Vizier, was slain. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, head of the cult, was arrested in the connection with Green death but released. He died months ago. Stories circulated in the Negro sections are that his death was a result of beatings administered by Claude Green's followers. One of those people that was accused of that was, of all people, Kirkman Bey. He was taken in for questioning too. Now, the point that I'm making with this is the title of Grand Vizier. There's only two people in the Moorish paradigm that you will ever see that title connected to. That is Claude Green, the business manager who would have access to the corporate filing, to the land deeds. He would have access to everything as it related to the business of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And after he is gone, all of a sudden, the Inc. got some land. All of a sudden, Kirkman Bey Group got some land. All of a sudden, Kirkman Bey Group got a corporate filing connected to the 1926 filing. All of a sudden, when Aneal passed, all of a sudden, they parading themselves at the Moorish Science Temple of America. So the point that I'm making is, for those who say they follow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and it's a holy and divine movement, nothing holy and divine comes out of death. Nothing holy and divine comes out of theft. Not from death, not from theft. And what you are witnessing is those who took the tangible Moorish Science Temple of America, remixed it, sold it back to the people as the legitimate Moorish Science Temple of America. And Sharif Aneal Bey, who ultimately was sent to infiltrate the group he became a part of, now he's championed as if he's a vanguard for it. But who knows? He could be still infiltrating. He could be. Who knows? Infiltration takes a while. Who knows? Listen. And Sharif told me this out of his own mouth, that he was a part of some type of blood street affiliation at one point. Sharif is a Mason. Sharif has been a part of the Sovereign Citizen Group. Sharif has been a part of a Moorish group under Aneal. Sharif is a part of a bunch of secret organizations. Sharif is also a part of the Inc. organization. Sharif has been a part of everything. I remember he seen me in a video or something with a brother who's a blood one time. He calls my phone and was like, man, can you hook me up with that brother? I was, you know what I mean? I used to bang like that. Like, what? I never called the brother. Next thing you know, him and the brother are talking. He reaches out to the guy on social media. Brother called me, Big Wolf, called me like, yeah, your boy Sharif reached out to me. He good people. I was like, yeah, that's my guy. I thought it was strange. But what I'm saying is Sharif has been in every lane possible. Everyone. And so for the people in the Inc. thinking that he's a vanguard for them, okay. Good luck with that. Even the things that he says in defense of that organization holds no weight. Now, I was jumping around tonight. As you can see, I have plenty of slides. I skipped through some of the slides because guess what? I would love for a respectable debate, but I want a public debate. I would love for a public debate, whereas though we can put it all on the table and walk away accepting the truth for what it is. My position is you are not the Moorish Science Temple of America that Prophet Noble Ali established. Regardless of your connection to the Secretary of State filing. Because if this is a holy and divine movement, but you have finagled and weaseled your way into that filing, then it removes the holy and divine from it, and that means it has no part in it. What you're doing, what they have done, has no part in it. It has no part in it. If you weaseled your way into that position, it has no part of this movement. None. It's invalid. So there has to be an alternative. And what is the alternative? That if we, those people, believe in the teachings of the Prophet Noble Ali, if we truly believe in the teachings of the Prophet Noble Ali, we should be studying the structure of how to go from an organization into a nation. We should be studying the structure of how to go and move socially advancing, moving forward. We should study the structure to understand how each temple that the Prophet established in a little of 3 years, 15 plus temples, how did each one have a grocery store, a barber shop? How did each one have a ice facility? They didn't have ice, they sold ice. How did they have the first Uber Eats, or the first, if you will, they had the first delivery groceries demonstration. What you call that? What they do now when they deliver groceries? The Moors had that. You see them in the newspaper ad. How do you go from each temple having a school and teaching their own children? A rec center, a social services center. See, the takeover happened to remove all that stuff to make us dependent upon those that do not care for us for real, for real. That's what the takeover was about. The takeover wasn't about, it's twofold. Like Crip say, FBA ADOS, it's twofold. It's the same way of the grifters today. They get to grift and manipulate and dig into people's pockets. And on the flip side, they remove the goalposts. They don't move it, they remove the goalposts. And that's what the takeover was all about. And that's what the takeover is always about. It's to remove the goalposts so we don't know which way to go. And this is why these temples are fighting today. This is why. I mean, because the Moorish Science Temple of America was designed for us to move from organization to nation in that order. These are 501c3s. They cannot function in the way that the Prophet set up the organization because they are charitable organizations owned by the state. They are owned by the state. Press 7 if you hear what I'm saying. They could never move like the Prophet moved politically because they are owned. I went over that in my show last night. They are owned by the state. A 501c3 is not owned by a person. It's owned by the state. And you managing the state money. So Sharif and all of these Moors that's talking this wild stuff, they can't move on the Prophet program, so they cannot be the Prophet temple. It's impossible. I don't care about all of these five. It doesn't make a difference. You cannot move on the Prophet program being owned by the state. And that's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line. Now, many people like to say, they're not a 501c3. Don't make me pull up the paperwork. Don't make me pull up the paperwork. I got it all. Don't make me pull up the paperwork. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. I mean, just in case you want to debate me or something. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's what the takeover was all about. The people just go in and tell good, feel-good stories. People just, the Moors, you know what I mean, romanticizing how great the Moors were. When in reality, Moors are comfortable. These Moors that run around talk about Negro, black, and colored, they are worse than anyone they characterize as Negro, black, and colors. They are comfortable. They are comfortable with Social Security. They are comfortable with welfare. They are comfortable. They're just comfortable. I'm putting it all on the line. Like in reality, family, with the talent that I have, the God-given talent that I have, I could be using this energy to build some type of empire. But guess what? I believe that the universe will take care of me as I take care of this business of putting this information out there. And so for all of y'all who make contributions, I don't think you really understand how spiritually in tune your contributions are lined up. Because I'm telling you, sometimes I don't even know how I'm going to get from one point to another. Sometimes I don't even know. And then somebody might send me an email. It's a brother, I don't know his name, but every holy day, he cash apps $25. I don't even know the brother. I don't know him. But every holy day, he randomly, every holy day nonstop. And this is what I'm saying. If God can send the birds out to have life, and they don't have to starve because God provides for them, then best believe that he will, she will, it will provide for you through someone like you. That's just how it works. And so for all of those that's thinking that we're just having fun on social media, for all of those that think that we're just going through the motions and we're trolling and this, that, and the third, nah, this is some real work. This is something that's happening universally in our community, where one steps in, they are able to grift under the name of something that has been done before them, but then they just change the trajectory and just take everybody off track. Anybody ever wonder why, as I said in the beginning of the show, anybody ever wonder why you don't see no Moors in the civil rights movement? 60,000 Moors with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but you don't see none in the civil rights movement? Anybody ever think about that? When in fact, Prophet Noble Drew Ali whole movement was predicated on civil liberties, and national principles, universal principles. But it started off as a civic organization. It started as a civic organization. And it continued to be a civic organization, although much of the work was religious. But you don't see none of them in the civil rights movement. None of them. Because why? Because the takeover happened. And that takeover been going on since 1920s till now. So when people ask what have the Moors built, I'm telling you, they are still here, redirecting people to be passive, to be soft. They are redirecting people right now. There's nowhere in the world that anybody of that persuasion would step up and have a gentleman debate with me about what is and what is not the Moorish Science Temple of America as it relates to the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Not one of them. Not a Hopkins Bey, not a Sharif Bey, not any of these proclaimed scholars will step up and debate me on that from a gentleman's perspective. And I'm talking about a collegiate style. I'm talking about put on a suit. I'm talking about stand up, have your screen shares. I'm talking about before a college audience, before an educated audience, before those who don't know too much about the subject matter. Bring anybody in the room, but set the tone that it's going to be an educated dialogue. I guarantee you, you're gonna fail miserably. Because even Sharif know the facts. And for him to go against that, that just goes to prove that them pieces of silver are still around. They're still around. It's very disappointing. Very disappointing. But listen, family. Prophet Noble Drew Ali made this statement. He says, there's only one way, and I'm going to paraphrase, there's only one way to get this right, and that's through your connection to the Moorish Divine and National Movement. Let me tell you how I interpret that. Whether you believe in the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali or have a misunderstanding of the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is neither here nor there. But the connection to the Moorish Divine and National Movement is an ideal. And the ideal is that we at some point have to do everything for ourselves. That no one is going to do it for you. But when you're doing it for yourself, people will join in and assist you. You follow what I'm saying? People will join in and assist you. You follow me? Look at the visionary. The visionary, why are you gay? No college wants to host a debate over fantasy. The visionary, why are you gay? Please answer. Why? You came all the way over here strutting your peacock feathers just to say something stupid. Come on. That's what we up against. That's exactly what we're up against, family. But with that being said, I know I jumped around a lot, and I meant to do that. I was going to go straight through, but I jumped around a lot because, yeah, I got a lecture coming up. And if he come back slick, I'm going to come back even harder. Pause. You follow me? Yeah, let's see.
That's right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby. Got to have that gas.
Disagreements on
We gonna make it
temple
move.
history, temple groups aside, Brother Taharka Bey is my brother. I realize that some of my words have caused him harm, and for that I sincerely apologize. And I seek his forgiveness.
These fake sheiks, I should have been pulled their tongue out. Apologize for what? I don't hear what they talking about. I peeped it. They done sold they soul for some friendship. Abandoned as a child, now they desperate for some kinship. I've been here. They the type of turn blood and then crib. Next week they Mason, faking assalamu alaikum. NOI this week, next week God body. You ever thought about sticking to karate? Flip flop, boy. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, you would've got the top
Smart, where you
all
been?
of a sudden, you faking like you beefing with me because you hide behind your lies, and I disagree. Wanna be Bruce Lee? Keep sneak dissing. And
What
I'ma
up,
keep
Vortex?
spitting. Good riddance. Let's go. That's where we got one. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. Come on, man.
Check 1 2.
Get your Grand Sheik, man. Your Grand Sheik failed you, man. Y'all better get him before I do. Cause when I do, it ain't gonna be nice. Recognize I've been God. How you 7 in the sheet, walking with a skin charge. You've been large, I've been large, always been a leader. You fighting to be accepted by men like a diva. Boy, I can't believe ya, cracking all slick, living in the glass house, throwing all these bricks. Speaking of the bricks, still trying to be a dope boy. Get up off the podium, let the gospel go, boy. Think we don't know, boy? We know you real dirty. So why you frontin', walking around acting like you worthy? You know you ain't worthy to represent the gospel. Why you want to make the people Grand Sheik and hostile? You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. I only bring this out of falsehood. You know it's all my good. People. Islam. Yeah. Let's go, fam.
Hold on.
Knock the brains out. I already know.
I'm about to go. Hold on. I'm about to go. Hold on. I got gassed up. Hold on. Let me find something. They see something. Hold on. I got gassed up. I might want to throw one. Let me throw one more. Let me see. Let me throw one more. I got gassed. This thing is probably
1 2. Put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Check. A vengeance. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Check 1 2. Let's own it. Put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Man, I love this. Y'all ready?
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
I'm ready.
1 2.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Check it. We gonna get this right. One take. I put the feds
Fuck
back
your
in the
eyes.
hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god that own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you
Listen,
can be
family.
a god that's own it.
I used to rock with these temples in the more the long way, but they all a super fraud and they not getting away. They want me to keep it quiet. Who I tell it to their face? I'm flipping over tables on my way to the 8. Sharif Bey said it, now it's time to show and prove it. Got the same address that I don't plan on moving. The dope fiends acting rebel, dirty Frankie and some mess that he know he can't handle. When I pull up and I pull out a 1 2 5. Don't be tell me that you 60 when I let that thing rip. Open hand or closed fist, put your veneers on the curb, put that thing in the back of your neck, and that's my word. With the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it?
Get your own Corona, you can be a god that's own it.
I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it?
Get your own Corona, you can be a god that's own it. Let me ask you, who doing it like Sharif Bey? Nobody. Who the people's Grand Sheik? I am. Huh? Show me a more doing it like Sharif Bey. And I shut my mouth. Let's go.
I can't wait to see and sit him on his back pockets for the simple fact he disrespected the prophet. He embarrassing, he ain't a Moorish American. So I will embarrass him.
After that, I dip and take a trip to Carbondale. No, it ain't the hood, but oh well.
I come with all the shells, fine yuck Bey. Hey, yuck. Shout out to yuck.
So she can hate no more. The feds back in the hood and
It look good now, don't it?
get your own Corona, you can be
Come on, man. I'm a triple threat, man. I'm a triple threat, man.
Get your own Corona, you can be a god, we own it. You come up against me, you know you gon' lose. Salt and pepper, gold teeth, floss it all for some views.
Good night.
Rabbit is acting like a wild coon, had a whole squad looking like a buffoon. I'm the man just
just admit it. You wanna do it how I did it, forget it.
It's my time now, good riddance.
Oh yeah, Aneal Bey, you late with the court date. Don't make the Moorish World citizens, baby. Come on, the fans back in the hood. I put the fans back in the hood and it look good, now don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. I put the fans back in the hood and it look good, now don't it?
Man, I'm gonna let this play out a little bit. I'm gonna let this play out a little bit. Good night, everybody. I'm just in the zone right now. I'm just in the zone right now. I'm in the zone right now. Let me see something. See what else I got up here. Let me see what else I got up here.
We're about to take it back.
See what else I got up here.
Amen. Amen. Let's go. Sinetta, you know better than a test of more. You done chose Reggie Fate, now you can rest assured. We gon' teach them to love instead of hate. More we uplift and educate. You wanna debate, y'all pathetic. Everybody wanna be comedic. Seti Shaka Op, most anyone can get it. It's real down here and be more, let's make it clear. I'm learning to love instead of hate, but I ain't there. Reginald, you all foes.
Mess with the swords.
Sharif!
You're rocking with the best.
Sharif! Sharif! Hey, Sharif!
Mess with the swordsman. Try it.
Sharif!
I will cut you to ribbons. Mess with the swordsman. This killer. Falsehood killer.
Falsehood killer!
Kazimin. Zalimin. Mujrikin.
Don't make me take this fans off, Allah knows, cause I will take some heads off, you all foes. Look what's up, I'm up to keep a banger that'll sink the nose off. Stop playing with you, I'm the true and living God, but no, I'm a little better than you little fraud. Try to keep it on the high note, I really love my bro, but I can go lower than a worm. No lie, see y'all let the evil social media gas you, I'm thugging. Thinking when I see you, I'ma pass you on now. We gon' talk about it, acting like you bout it. Guarantee you when I see you, we can put some chalk around it. I'm not like a big boy, this fans won't save you, cause I will take this fans off and that's who made you. You better say Allah when you look me in my eyes, you see the image of Allah. Don't be looking surprised, I'm the God in the flesh. Of course I'm fresh. I don't believe he left, I breathe Jesus' breath. You come on, death. We come correct like a check when the G's connect. Disrespect trying to get a rep, I'm coming for your rep, for real. Don't make me take this fans off. Islam. Don't make me take this fans off. See my rock, more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I'll be that more you.
Anyway, family. Oh, they want the more you gon' remember. Let's take it out like this. 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 Shout out to Crypto. Shout out to the Lex Vortex Show. You know. That's right. Darker Bay front line to a law. Call my number. That's right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I was told. They speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet Noble Drew Ali, who was a. No sound. No sound. Hold up. 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 What happened? No sound. How about now?
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember.
My bad.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. You a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was
My
told
bad.
to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that.
Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people taught European how to bathe.
And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate.
Yeah.
When love is the savior.
We gonna do
You
one more.
don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race.
Let's do one more. Stick with me. One more.
Then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish World, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember.
Oh yeah.
I be that more you gon' remember.
I got one more,
To
man.
Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be
And I
that
got one
more you
more
gon'
special
remember.
request.
Be more. I
One
be
more
that more
special
you gon'
request.
remember. That town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Hey family. Hey family, it's only right that I go out how I started the show, so I got to run the song back. I got to run it back, all right? I got to run the song back. I got to. Because it's only right that I go out as I started the show. All right. All right. We got to knock the brains out of falsehood. Hold, back up off me. Back up off me. I don't want no smoke. All right. We're going to knock the brains out of falsehood and get on up out of here. Listen, man. Don't make me do it to you, son, because I'm going to overdo it. You know what I mean? I'm going to overdo it, man. For real. Don't make me do it. I'm going to overdo it. All right.
That's right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby.
Disagreements on
Got to have that
temporal
gas.
history,
You gonna
temporal
make it move.
groups aside, Brother Tahaka Bey is my brother. I realize that some of my words have caused him harm, and for that I sincerely apologize, and I seek his forgiveness.
These fake sheiks, I should have been pulled their tongue out. Apologize for what? I don't hear them what they talking about. I peeped it. They done sold they soul for some friendship. Abandoned as a child, now they desperate for some kinship. I've been here. They the type of turn blood and then quit. Next week they Mason, faking assalamu alaikum. NOI this week, next week God body. You ever thought about sticking to karate flip flop, boy? Let me tell you something. Back in the day, you would've got the top pop for front, and all of a sudden you faking like you beefing with me. Cause you hide behind your lies and I disagree. Wanna be Bruce Lee, keep sneak dissing, and I'ma keep spitting. Good riddance. Let's Yo,
Check one,
Animal,
two.
we got one.
You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. You know it's all good when it's truth against falsehood. Falsehood, I knock the brains out of falsehood. Ah.
Come on, man.
Check 1 2.
Get your Grand Sheik, man. Your Grand Sheik failed
Check
you,
1 2.
man. Y'all
Come on.
better get him before I do.
Hey, yo.
Cause when I do, it ain't gonna be nice.
Recognize I've been God. You 7 in the sheep, walking with a skin charge. You've been lost, I've been large, always been a leader.
You fighting to be accepted by men like a diva.
Boy, I can't believe ya. Cracking all slick, living in the glass house, throwing on the bricks. Speaking of the bricks, still trying to be a dope boy. Get up off the podium, let the guys go, boy.
Think we don't know, boy? We know you real dirty. So why you?
Hey, family, let me stop. I'm only playing. Listen, hey, family, listen. One thing I can be proud about, family, this is real talk. You ain't gonna find no goofy pictures of me. One thing you ain't gonna find about me, no goofy pictures. And you know how, in this era of social media, right? You have your favorite rapper back in the day, but now your favorite rapper, you're like, because you start seeing little stuff that you didn't see before because social media wasn't there. Family, I promise you, you ain't gonna find no goofiness in my background. People be killing me. They be acting all thorough, acting like they solid. You know what I mean? And then, like, what's this all about? like if I could just ask my bro, like, bro, what is this all about, bro? Like, for real, bro, what is this all about? Please explain this. Because where I'm from, we don't do these types of things. I'm trying to understand. What is this pose all about? Family, I promise you, you will never find anything goofy. He looking at me too. I don't like you looking at me. Stop looking at me. Stop looking at the citizens. Stop. Oh, no. Stop. We don't like that. Stop. No, we don't like that. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Stop. Nah, stop, bro. Stop, bro. You're doing too much. Listen, you know what's funny though, family? I'm going to let y'all go. You know what's funny? People talk crazy to me. They know good and well that I'm a goofball. They know I'm going to have fun with it. Like, just leave me alone. Like, if we do, like, but if you agree to a debate, I tell you, I have professional decorum. You know what I'm saying? But I was trying to leave this guy alone, like, about a month ago, 2 months ago. And he just keep on trolling. So now, you know what I mean? I might make a series out of him, man, if he keep playing with me. You know what I mean? I might make a series out of him, man. And if I make a series out of him, you already know what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? You already know what I'm going to do. If I make a series out of him, the last person I told that, they started crying. Why are you making all these videos about me? I'm telling you now, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Yo, we're doing other stuff, man. Nobody got time to play with you, man. Either debate me or just stand on the sideline and hate me. That's all right. Well, I'm out of here, family. Peace and love. We back to the regularly scheduled program on Saturday. We got a beautiful show coming Saturday. We're going to talk about, I'm going to let it be a surprise. It's going to be nice. What up, Corey? Nice to see you in the building. Peace and love, family.